Good afternoon and welcome to the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, uniquely Urbandale, a service provided for every single member of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, an opportunity to create their own social media content created by us here at .com. My guest this afternoon is Jessica Dunker, who is the president of the Iowa Restaurant Association, which oversees over 600 restaurants and bars across the state. Jessica, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And I feel like I know you because I worked with your daughter at Des Moines Christian for a few years, and you have a wonderful daughter, which means you are a pretty special mom, my guess is.
Thank you. I hear you are also a very special dad.
Well, we do the best we can, don't we? How do you keep track of all of them, and how do they keep track of you?
Well, the Iowa Restaurant Association is an advocacy, education, and promotion organization. One of the ways we keep track of our members is through the Dine Iowa restaurant app.
Okay.
And so that's something we promote across the state. It's Dine Iowa, and it's available in both formats, obviously, Droid and for the iPhone. And so it's on the app stores, and it's really easy for me to find any of our members that way. We promote that in all of the welcome centers across the state. And so that's a great way for you to find any of our members.
So if I had a restaurant or a bar and I wanted to be a part of the Iowa Restaurant Association, that is one of the benefits, is I'd also be listed on Dine Iowa, the app on phones.
Absolutely. That's one of the benefits that we offer, is kind of a toe in the water for people that are maybe just getting started in the mobile app space. And so that's one of the things that we do. In fact, our membership stickers, we talk about restaurants being members of the National Restaurant Association and also part of the Dine Iowa network.
All right, so I have to ask, if I'm searching for a restaurant, what's the benefit of me going to someone who's a member of the Iowa Restaurant Association?
Well, if you're a member of the Iowa Restaurant Association, you're dedicated to professionalism. And one of the things that we really feel like our members are showing is their commitment to showing that the restaurant industry is a profession. It's got credentials. It's someplace where everything from food safety and food quality are just first and foremost in our minds, as well as making sales. Yeah,
and I already knew that because I was a member of the Iowa Restaurant Association for years. If you would disagree with this, you say so. But for me, it was kind of like the BBB of the Iowa of the restaurant business. If you were a member of that, I remember Paul Trostel. He's passed away now, but he was one of the representatives when we were in business together. He and I were, and he always said, "You have to be special. You have to work harder. You have to do a very good job with your customers to be a member of the Iowa Restaurant Association."
You're a member of the Iowa Restaurant Association, you are part of a professional network. And we really feel like being part of that network and the Dine Iowa network, you are the welcome mat to the state of Iowa. If you look at things like the caucuses as an example,
oh my.
The thing that stands out in the minds of so many of the reporters and the political folks are the restaurants that they visited while they were in the state of Iowa. We're the culture, we're the flavor, we're the face, we're the welcome mat to people who are coming into our state. And it's important if you're going to be.
If you're an independent restaurateur, if you're out there, we call them a mom and pop shop. That's what I always had. I was never a franchisee, because you get an opportunity to be with and have a conversation with other independent restaurant owners and learn some of the secrets of the game.
Absolutely. And 2/3 of Iowa's restaurants are actually independently owned. So we're a little bit unusual in that regard when you look at the numbers compared to other states. When you're looking at 66% of the restaurants in a state that really has only 6, compare it to some of the larger states, you have a very unique position. You are the flavor of Iowa.
Yeah. So why, Jessica, are you passionate about this? Why is this your profession?
The reason that I've chosen to represent Iowa's restaurants specifically is that it is the last bastion of entrepreneurship in the whole world. There is no other industry that you can truly come in at the very entry level, a minimum wage dishwasher at age 16, and you can end up the owner, and up the owner by the time you're 30 years old. where else is it easy to do that anymore? And I'm not saying it's easy, but where else is it possible to do that? Fewer and fewer places.
Yeah, I owned my first restaurant when I was 23.
Yeah, and that would not be unusual. People really are able to enter the food market in so many ways anymore. We're excited about food trucks. We have food trucks that are members.
Good for you.
Yep, we're excited about catering businesses. We're excited about different ways that people are trying to get into the bricks and mortar establishments. And of course, we're all over Urbandale, the greater Des Moines area, and ultimately the state of Iowa.
Well, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but we in the central Iowa area, and I know you have people in all four corners of the state, but in central Iowa, we have really good independent restaurants.
Well, one of the keys to Iowa, or to Des Moines specifically, but all of Iowa's restaurants, are the strong culinary schools that we have, particularly in the Iowa Culinary Institute, which is located here at DMAC. That program started 40 years ago.
Wow.
Under Robert Anderson. And if you go into any of the independent restaurants, the fine restaurants, you will find graduates of Iowa Culinary Institute that are either owners or in very strong positions in both the front of the house and the back of the house.
Yeah. All right, Jessica, so my last question, if you weren't doing this, if you weren't the president of the Iowa Restaurant Association, what would you be doing?
Well, my job right now is to eat and drink my way across the state and discover the hidden treasures.
Yeah.
And then talk about, promote, and advocate for doing this. What else would I want to do? That's
true. That's a great job. Now, I do want to ask you one more question. You probably can't tell me who's got the best meatloaf in town, can you?
I'm sure they're a member of the Iowa Restaurant Association.
You're good. I love meatloaf. Meatloaf's awesome. All right. Jessica Dunker, president of the Iowa Restaurant Association. You might check out their free app. It's called Dine, D-I-N-E, Iowa. And that's where all 600 of their members are listed. And you can always make sure that you excellent quality at any of the Iowa Restaurant Association members. Jessica, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I'm J. Michael McCoy for the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. This is Uniquely Urbandale, powered by WebcastOneLive.com.